Top of the morning to you, brother.
Hola!
I'm Anthony. Welcome to No Vacancy Live. That's my friend Glenn.
You're watching the #1 show in hospitality. Hey, everybody. Glenn Hausman here. Anthony Milkiri right there. Anthony, you do not look like you're in your home studio today again.
I am not. I am on the road. I'm a traveling man. We're doing business. I'm a business man doing business.
I love it. Everybody's getting back to it. How awesome is that? It's every single week it seems like you're going somewhere else now. How freaking cool is that?
Yeah, the lady at the Delta Countess. Hi, Anthony.
Oh, really? They remember you? For as much as I used to travel, they never seem to remember who I am. I don't know if that's more an indication of me or them. How do you see it?
They don't. And, one of the things is I really I love Delta, but as a platinum member, and I know you're a diamond member, right?
No, I'm platinum. There was a year I was diamond, but that's a story for another.
Right. I think this year I'm going to be diamond, it seems. And they don't really do anything outside of say thank you for being a platinum member. I think I've told you I still have to use my Platinum American Express to get into the lounge.
That's
and when I get on the plane, they give me a box of crackers. So listen, I love Delta because they're on time. They do all the great things, but I think they can up their membership game.
They could say, we really thank you for being a platinum member. Maybe that'll take it over the top for them. What do you think?
We really, 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 really thank you. So Glenn, your camera looks spectacular.
I know, right? I just got myself a brand new camera. I thought, hey, it's the spring. Let's, there's a rebirth of the seasons over here right now. So why not take the opportunity to mix up the cameras, get a new one. One of the fun things is, Anthony, every single month, it seems like we're adding new gear, new stuff, and getting really super serious about everything over here. It's so much fun. I just love this.
Yeah, today we're doing the opposite of what we've been doing. We're adding, but today we're taking away guests.
That's right. We're doing a little bit of freeform action today, so that'll be fun. Tomorrow, though, we've got Carlos Flores. He's the CEO of Sonesta, the hottest hotel company on the planet. He'll be here for 30 minutes. Plus, we're going to have we're going to do something on Autism Day, and we're going to get a live report from somebody who is at the Magic Kingdom at Disney World to see what's going on with tourism firsthand. I think that'll be a lot of fun. And then,
and who's our guest doing that? Is that our friend
Bruce Ford over at Lodging Econometric?
Oh, Bruce, love Bruce.
Yeah, so he'll pop on for like 10 minutes, give us a good little look-see about what's going on, assuming he figure out the technology. And then on Wednesday, we got Ron Pohl, the COO of Best Western, coming on the show, I believe, right? So that'll be pretty cool.
An Anthony Melchiori lookalike.
Don't let Ron know, but you're much sexier.
So let me ask you a question. Vegas behind you.
Yep.
Tell everybody in the world what's happening in Vegas, and then we have a trip planned in June.
Lots is going on right now in Vegas. Anthony, I saw a post yesterday at MGM Grand with the line to the elevators going on and on and on. Things are back now. I don't have the exact numbers that are happening right now, but it feels as if everything has switched on. People are coming back en masse, and I can't wait to get back there, which will be just a little bit more than a month or so when we're going to get there.
Yeah. Everything got a little too normal for me today. I just got into an elevator.
Yeah.
And the young lady didn't have her mask on, and she walked in the elevator, and she goes, "There's plenty of room." I go, "No, I'll take the next one." Now, I've been walking around without my mask outside because I'm double vaccinated and stuff, but I'm still not ready for the, hey, I don't know who you are, getting in an elevator without my mask on. But but basically, if you're not thinking about it, it seems like it's normal in Vegas and in Florida. It seems as normal as it's been.
Yeah, I think in Vegas it's going to be, to me, I think we're going to be back to 80% normal from what we perceive normal to be in 2019, because we're still going to have the masks. The shows aren't yet up and running fully, and I don't think they're at 100% capacity, the ones that are. But I do see a lot more food and beverage coming back online. I do see a lot more events coming back online. And I'm from seeing what's going on social media, following those Facebook Vegas groups. Seems like everybody's ready to party. They're all at those outdoor pools, the pool club parties. Things are really happening over there.
So tell about the openings. What's opening in Vegas? We just had an opening. We're having another opening.
It's so exciting. So we're going to be at the opening of Resorts World Las Vegas. That is June 24th, I believe that is. But that's not good enough, Anthony. We can't just be there for that. I'm also going to do the Friday night audit show, I hope, from there on that day after. But Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we got the brilliant idea to be at a different resort focusing on different topics every single day of the week. So we'll be hitting up the brand new Virgin Hotel and a couple of other really cool places. We're toying with the idea of doing one show with all of the support companies that are out there, all the activities, the Fremont Street people, Maverick Helicopters, those kinds of things, to see what they're thinking about and how all these different pieces of the puzzle are going to come back to create an amazing second half of 2021, but a really bonkers profitable 2022.
Do you want to hear my prediction?
Yeah, I do want to hear your prediction.
2021 is going to be a great year, but 2022 is going to be a record year for Vegas.
Yep.
They will have the biggest revenue stream in the history of the town in 2022. That's my prediction. Do you think I'm right or wrong?
I think that you are wrong, because I don't believe that all of the major events are going to come back in mass. But I do think there will be such a surge that we'll be getting close to it and feeling pretty good about it, if technically not for the numbers that are going to be there. But I agree in essence that it's going to be happening. And, we're seeing more deals happening in Vegas all along. A lot more is happening. In fact, Anthony, I pulled up a couple of interesting pieces. City Center, City Center, where Aria is, and the former
I was working with Tishman when they built it.
Okay, well, then you're going to like this particular story. That's plot of land where the Harmon Resort was supposed to go to. That piece of land was embroiled in a big lawsuit. It was supposed to be a giant tower, but something went wrong with the way they built it. Allegedly, I don't know how that worked out between MGM and Tishman, how they organized it, how they settled it. But I do know that they got rid of the entire building. It's been an empty parcel of land. They just sold those 2 acres of land right now to a company called Torino Development for approximately $80 million. And they are going to be building a multi-level retail complex with retail, casual, and fine dining, and probably 47 CVSs in there as well.
And a couple of nail salons. The interesting thing about that is $80 million for a piece of land in
2 acres.
Prime piece of land. No, in Vegas, $80 million. That seems cheap, and I think it's cheap because of.
I think that they were up to $37 million at the height of the last go round, and I don't know any deals that sold for more than that. This would put it at more than that. That is pretty amazing.
But it still seems, with all the billions being thrown around in Vegas, it seems $80 million for 2 acres in prime real estate. It's probably a good deal.
Probably a good deal, and it just
there was a parking lot on 42nd Street and 10th or 11th Avenue, which is now part of the West Side, development. And it was a parking lot, a small outdoor parking lot. 18 years ago or 17 years ago, it sold for $50 million.
Oh my God.
It was literally a corner. And
imagine what it would sell for now.
Probably quarter of $1 billion, probably.
Right? That's absolutely unbelievable. All right. So Christopher Feely says, hey, Anthony, did you grapple with self-doubt as a business leader, or have you always been so seemingly self-assured?
I just did a class this morning with Suzanne, who's a professor at Washington University and is actually helping us produce the show today. And I did a class with her class. She brought me in, and they basically asked me that question. And we were just laughing about it because she said, hey, everybody was inspired by you. And I was like, why? Because they found out I got left back twice. I got the lowest SAT score in the city of in New York City history. I have all kinds of learning disabilities. I have OCD, and I have massive stage fright. So yeah, the answer is I've overcome all of that. Especially I've really worked hard on my stage fright. So absolutely, I was the most insecure mama's boy. When I went to basic training, I got yelled at because I couldn't figure out how to put my belt on.
Right.
It was a belt I've never kind of used, a military belt, and I got yelled at, and I got so scared, and everybody else stepped up to be a squadron leader, or a lot of people, and I'm sitting in the back going, just don't throw me out, just don't throw me out. I was an absolute nervous wreck with no confidence. And, it all came down to my underwear drawer. I literally folded my socks on my underwear better than anybody else in my squadron, and that was the first time anybody ever said I did a good job. And that kind of catapulted me in the military. Every little thing that I did, and I did a little more and went a lot further, as my colonel said. So all little wins builds your confidence. You have to have little wins. You have to have
Yep.
little wins. Could be as easy as folding a sock drawer and your squadron commander says, "Hey, best sock drawer, underwear drawer in the squadron." And so you have to have little wins. So my confidence comes from having a lot of wins and then building teams that have a little bit bigger wins.
Yeah, and I think that you got to start with something. And that story that you've told about your underwear drawer means a lot to me because it really shows that you got something and you were able to leverage a little bit of positivity into that next thing, which leads into the next thing and reverse a trend of negativity and spin it around to move your life forward. And that's kind of the thing that I've been trying to focus on every once in a while as this last year has unfolded. And it was quite a difficult year. But now, me personally and professionally, I feel poised for much more opportunity. So when I get one of those little wins, it really changes my whole mindset, my perception of how I interact with the universe in a little ways. Just need that little kick, and then I get motivated to put in that extra work to get that next win. Do you feel the same?
Yeah, your camera is winning today because I'm looking at your camera. I'm like, that is the best. I got to get that camera. But absolutely. And I think, as we said, you have to give yourself permission to be proud of yourself.
Right.
A lot of us got through COVID last year. Unfortunately, a lot of people didn't get through COVID. That's a win. You kept your family together. That's a win. You put milk on the table. That's a win. You did less with more or more with less. That's a win. Mentally, physically, you took care of yourself. That's a win. So I think coming out of COVID, everyone's got to stop and say, hey, this was really, really stressful. I need a vacation. I need a time out. And give yourself an opportunity to be proud of yourself.
Yeah, little things lead to big things, says Colleen. Thanks for the inspiration today. Yeah, it's absolutely true. You can't start big. You need to break all the big things down into those little tasks that give you the little wins that help you build up that self-confidence in being able to pursue more and more and more. Anthony, I think about the things that used to sideline me earlier in my career or beginning of the COVID crisis when that started. And then if you face it head on and you deal with it, well, it's not that shocking. It's not that intimidating. And it makes it easier the next time you encounter a similar situation to just slough it off and go, no big deal.
Yeah. And, when the kids asked me today about like, what's the secret or whatever the question was, I can't remember exactly. And I was like, nobody cares. And we've said it before. Nobody cares. Just get over the fact that you think people care. Nobody cares. Work-life balance. We had this conversation with my team last night. I was like, I don't care 24/7. If I call you, just tell me you're not available, but I'm going to call you. I'm not going to worry about your work-life balance, just like I don't want you to worry about my work-life balance, okay? I made a commitment to Suzanne this morning. I got up a little bit early, even though I went to sleep late, okay? I made a commitment to you. I was going to be on the podcast when I'm traveling. I'm here. I made a commitment to the designer that's looking at the hotel we're looking at. My team is there meeting with them. I made a commitment to the owner that's coming down to buy the hotel. My team is bringing them through. Once I'm done, I will go back to that meeting. So no one cares that I was busy today. No one cares that I had to get up a little earlier, even though last night we maybe had a couple too much tequila. No one cares. And not only no one cares, don't look like you had too much tequila or look like you're too busy. That's another thing.
Yeah.
If you look busy, nobody cares. Everybody's busy. And you have to be responsible for your work-life balance. I told my team that they're all like nobody works for me. We're all kind of partners, and we're all we're all in this together. And I was like, everybody's responsible for their work-life balance. Call me on a Saturday, I probably won't call you back. Call me on a Friday night at 6 o'clock, I probably won't call you back. But go ahead and call me. And if it's important, you'll text me and say, you got to pick up the phone. I'll pick up the phone. So no one cares how busy you are. No one cares about your family. No one cares about if you have a baseball game this weekend. Right. My daughter ripped her ACL out, okay? We've been dealing with that the last 2 days. It's been horrible. Nobody cares. It's okay. You still got to meet your mark. You still got to show up. And so once I started realizing I didn't have a safety net and I wasn't going to have somebody like pat me on the shoulder every time I did something good, I realized that I'm responsible for me.
Right. I'll tell you, not having that safety net, I think, Anthony, really makes you dig deep and find it within yourself those things that you didn't know that you could actually do, that those things that where part of your mind says, I could never do that. I could never achieve that. But when you don't have that safety net, you have no choice. It's amazing how you're pushed to do things you wouldn't have otherwise. And then chances are we'll find the amazing success that comes with getting out of that comfort zone and doing new things.
Yeah. And you know what? One of the things someone just wrote, you just put it up there. I don't know who did it.
I think it's just, yeah.
About
about this one right here?
No, work-life balance. What is work-life balance?
No such thing.
Okay. And that's, it's interesting. No, there is a such thing as work-life balance. It's your decision now.
Yeah.
So there's some days you work more, sometimes you play more, sometimes you take vacation, sometimes you don't. So the work-life balance is under your control. You decide what your work-life balance is, not your boss, no one else. And that's why I have some rigid rules around my work-life balance. Okay. I was just talking to my partner, Jeremy. I go, all the years working together, how many times have I called you on the weekend? She goes, until these last few projects, never. I said, how often do I call you on the weekend now? She goes, all the time. That's right. For 11 years, I didn't need to call you on the weekends. Right now, I may have to call you every single weekend.
Right.
So I think it's not so much work-life balance exists or doesn't. It's the resentment about the choice. So when you choose that you have a job to do and you have to do a report on Saturday and you can't do the thing you really want, you're not really upset that you have to do that work. You're upset that you're not able to choose because now you have to do that work. So the resentment that comes about the work-life balance issue is something that we've all got to kind of think about, focus on. Don't be resentful. You have a choice, but every choice that you make, it has a consequence, good or bad. The consequence is you're not going to the ball game, but you're going to get that report and you may get a raise next week. Okay. You never know. Or you're like, well, I'm not going to do the report until Sunday night when everybody's sleeping. And what's going to happen is you're going to be tired the next day, but you got the report done. You went to your son's baseball game. Your choice. Don't resent your boss and don't resent your son.
Now, Anthony makes that sound pretty easy. I'm somebody that's always struggled with that work-life balance thing. I've always hewed more towards getting that work done because I've convinced myself if I don't do this, that, and the other thing, well, I'm going to be a colossal failure. I'm not going to have that safety net, and I'm never going to be able to get out of whatever negative situation happens because I perceived how important it is. But Anthony, I've been working really hard to take some time for myself, to really focus more on me as a human being and my family. And you know what? I don't think it's affected my career at all. In fact, some might argue when you take time and you refresh and you focus on the important things that really matter outside your career life, you probably bring better energy to it and can find even more success than if you try to act like the martyr and get everything done.
And you don't have to wait till the weekend. You don't have to wait till the vacation. Every day. Take a vacation every day. Take time for yourself every day. Where you're not going to allow anybody to infiltrate. My daughter texted me this morning. She goes, Dad, what's your schedule look like this month? And I know what she was talking about because she's going to have surgery for ACL. I go, doesn't matter what my schedule is. Yeah. You schedule it when it works for you and around college and around everything else. And don't worry, because I will cancel everything in my life. Don't worry about it. I'm not gonna tell you, well, don't do it this day or that day because I'm in a meeting and we have some really important meetings coming up. I don't care. I'm gonna be there. Now, if I lose something because I'm at my daughter's there and I'm not gonna put pressure on her to work around my schedule, I don't care. And you have to not care about it. So my work-life balance has a consequence. I'm gonna be there. I'm not gonna pressure on my daughter to schedule around my schedule. And whatever drops on my work part, I'll deal with the consequence.
Right. And a lot of times there won't be a consequence because what I've learned is if you're open and honest and tell people what's going on, they're pretty amenable to it. Right.
100%.
So,
good point.
So,
good point.
Yeah, on Wednesday, I'm going to get shot number 2, and I'm very concerned about what the side effects are going to be. Old Glenn would have said, oh, well, and I would have forced myself to make it through the rest of the week. Instead, I did something I've never done before. I said, we're not going to do the show, No Vacancy Live this Thursday. So we're going to run a best of episode on there. And on Friday, I'm not going to do the Friday night audit show either. I am going to focus on myself. If I don't feel sick, great. I'm going to take a couple of days and be reflective and have a little bit of downtime. But I could very easily have been in that same trap over and over again, creating these self-imposed unrealistic expectations that I have to power through all of that. But the fact of the matter is, we're not going to lose our audience for not being on one day. People aren't going to think less of me because we're not on air one day. And I'm going to be able to take care of myself and probably be a better professional the following week.
Right. The only thing is, since you're calling in sick Thursday, please bring a doctor's note.
All right. I will absolutely do that. I think we should all take a poll. Will I get sick? How sick will I get? And how much of a baby am I going to be about it? My guess is no matter what happens, I'm going to be an extreme baby because no one ever takes care of me around here. So it's a good excuse for me to, get people to do that.
So this is the part of the show that we do every day where we ask Suzanne to ask us questions.
Yes, we know it's your favorite part of the show because we do it every single day. Suzanne.
Hello, everyone.
You guys know her from being a professor at Boston University, an amazing PhD, but she's also has lost all self-respect in helping us behind the scenes here. Suzanne, great to see you today. How are you?
Happy to be with you, gentlemen. All right, you ready for my questions?
Hold on. Christopher says, second dose destroyed me. Oh, boy, oh, boy, oh, boy. Moderna, a little tired, big baby. Yeah. All right, Susan, I like that. I'm ready for the questions. Let's do it.
All right. So what motivates you to keep going each day?
Anthony?
Glenn. That's our answers. That's our answers.
What motivates me to keep going every single day is I made a choice in my life to start this business, and everything that I do is based on that. Me needing to prove to myself every single day that I can be successful, I can take on more challenges, and I can get to that point in my career where I think I should be right now, even though that's probably unrealistic.
It's interesting because I'm going to tell you the real answer, right? The real answer is I love what I do more than anybody should ever love what they do. But that's not what motivates me. What motivates me is I got to make a living for my family. I got to support my children. I got to get them to where they're comfortable in life and they're on their own. And so I'm motivated by supporting my family, and I'm just lucky enough to do it in a job I love. If I was in a situation where Glenn, if I had Glenn, I'd throw mine away. If I had Glenn kind of money, I would probably not work. I would probably do a lot of volunteer, a lot of traveling, and I would still love being in the hotel business, but I would do it as a guest, not as a person that's running and developing and doing all that kind of stuff. So I would still do the podcast. I would still do keynote speaking engagements, but really, like, I love what I do, but I'm motivated like most of us. I have responsibilities, and that's what motivates me. I just saw a quote the other day that I posted, and it said, your laziness is letting the people that believe in you down, or whatever the quote was. And I love that quote because it's true. It's like if I decide not to do something because I'm being lazy sometimes, I'm letting my family down, and that's a problem.
Yeah. All right. So we got Ecotech is watching on our YouTube feed. Hey, you guys know. Got to get these, right? Conference season's coming back. Go get yourself some Ecotech garbage bags. That one's a freebie on the house. Good folks over at Ecotech.
And it's not called
Tellurian. They've got the brand new word Tellurian because that's the way you've got to do it. They are absolutely perfect. Make sure that anytime you have events at your hotels, you have them. Put them in your guest room. Put them in your public spaces. You can't lose with that. All right. Steve Durasmo says, please excuse Glenn from work on Thursday. Sincerely, Dr. Pepper. I was going to get a note from Epstein's mom if anyone gets that reference. Good job, Horshack.
Okay, go ahead.
So we talked service.
Oh, wait, hold on. Ecotech says available in black and white right now. You're not forced to choose anymore. You can make your own personal choice, whatever it is you want, white or black, available now. Tellurian. There you go. Sorry, Suzanne.
No worries at all. All right, we talked service. So what service issue is your hot button or biggest pet peeve?
Oh, this is easy for me.
Yeah, go for it.
Everything.
Come on, you got to pick one.
Nope. Everything. Everything bothers me. Everything.
I'll say lack of attention to detail. Stuff that I see that seems regularly plain and obvious, but has gone unseen, or they're looking through the same eyes so often they fail to even recognize that there's a problem.
Right. Right. Suzanne, and to answer your question more specifically, I walk into a parking lot, drive in, I get out of my car. The lines aren't painted. The shrubbery is dead. The windows are dirty. The people are friendly. Every one of those things can make my brain explode. I just saw something in the hotel that if I was running the hotel, the general manager would have been walked out of the building.
Wow. And you're going to tease us and not tell us what that?
No, I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you.
Okay, so then let's go to this question. What are the qualities or attributes you look for in a general manager?
Transparency, vulnerability, and honesty.
Glenn, do you have anything to add to that one?
Every time I'm looking for a general manager, I'm looking for exactly the same qualities.
Actually, and JO Hospitality is looking for a director of sales and a general manager. So if you're looking to be in the Florida market, DM me or send me an email or tell one of these good folks and get your resume.
Send an email to what? Anthony at anthonymelcury.com?
Yeah, send it to me and I'll send it to my team.
Excellent. Yeah, that's exciting. Things are heating up for Anthony over there. You saw the big announcement last week, and there's more to come. As a matter of fact, Aaron says, "Hey, would you hire me, Anthony? I would love to work with you. Maybe you've got what it takes. Drop him a note if you need one of those positions.
If you have the experience and we can make it work, of course I'd hire anybody that could make it work. But just don't tell anybody I'm crazy."
I think everyone's figured that out.
That's an easy one to pick up. All right. Who is your mentor? And for someone that is looking for a mentor, what are some of the aspects that they should consider in identifying that person?
Can you go first?
I don't know if I had any real mentors, but I did have some great woman tours in my life. Just strong women professionals have been my boss a lot of times in my life, and I felt that they were awesome. They treated me with respect. They taught me how to learn and helped gauge me to be on the path I was today. I tried earlier on to have like real legitimate mentors, but I never had much luck with that. So my goal now is to try to pay it forward and give folks some mentoring that I was never able to get, because I felt that to be a very deleterious thing for my ability to learn as quick as I'd liked. Anthony?
That's very interesting, my friend. Same thing. I really haven't had mentors. Every single person that's in my orbit, I learned something. I'm learning to listen more than I talk, which my team I put together is you have to, because they can almost all talk more than I can. So, but I learn from everyone all the time, and I've had different mentors in my career. I've gotten so many breaks from different people. I've just been so fortunate in my life to have people to teach me. But you have to want to learn. It's like either you're going to there's an attitude of you're going to teach me because I'm going to be a good student, I'm going to show up, I'm not going to listen, or you're going to teach me, right? You're somehow I'm getting taught what I need to learn. If you open your eyes and your ears, most people are open-hearted.
Yeah, and I know I tried as a GM to take one nugget from every person that I worked with. So it's not just one individual person, it's a collection of aspects that are important.
That's so funny you said nugget, because that's what I call Glenn, my little nugget.
It's all right. He used to call me his chicken nugget before, but I changed that. I got brave, so he doesn't have to call me that anymore. Well, hi, back to you, Bayako 78. Michael says he appreciates your mentorship. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate that.
Suzanne, do you have any other questions before he drowns us over here?
Well, you told me I needed to come up with 20, so I'm ready to go.
So keep going.
But before you say the next question, I want everybody to know I'm driven in my entire career by just trying to make Anthony laugh. If I could do that, it's a successful show. It's a successful day. And I hate more than anything when I think of something and I say it and then I don't get the response from you that I'm hoping.
So,
sometimes
do you remember?
Purpose.
I haven't done this in a long time, but I remember. I haven't even thought about this until you just said that. Do you remember in the beginning of the show? I'd say the first 3 months, we started getting to know each other, and you would say things, and I'd be like so irritated, and I'd be like, "Why did he say that?" Or "That was kind of dumb," or whatever it was, and I would just stare at you and not give you a response. Remember those? Remember those moments?
They were
I'm
highly.
so I'm so mean because I was so upset and I don't want to be rude. I just stare at you like this.
Yeah, but right, he would. But the good news is I don't give a crap. So I just forging ahead. As long as I delight myself, that was all that mattered. But now,
but you know what's interesting? I've given you a hard time in the show, and I've kind of cracked jokes, or I get a little irritated. You've never really been like that with me, so you've been a lot more open-hearted than I have been.
well, that just shows how wonderful I am and what an a-hole you are, I guess, at the end of the day, right?
Truer words never spoken.
Oh, I wish I could hit some of these sound effect buttons I got over here, but I'm only legally sanctioned to do that on Fridays. And next question.
All right. So aside from tequila or gambling, what causes you to lose sleep?
When my kids aren't good, where my kids are worried about something or anything. It could be a comment for a hotel. It could be I want to do something I give my word to, and I'm letting somebody down. So a lot of things, but I do sleep well typically. The COVID year was a tough year to sleep, but I typically sleep well. But it could be many things, but typically anything that's like bothering my children. Like right now, my daughter's ACL is torn, and that's like I'm obsessed with just worrying about her. So
yeah. For me, things that keep me from sleeping is mostly meth and crack as well. So I have trouble. They keep me from sleeping. But honestly, I don't have trouble sleeping anymore. I used to I have trouble staying asleep. I was up 6 times last night. It was absolutely ridiculous, but I could fall asleep in 10 seconds. When I was a kid, I used to have so much anxiety and I used to worry so much that it would keep me up and I'd have a lot of sleepless nights over and over and over again. But at some point, I made peace with all the stuff that I can't control in my life. And it really helped me understand that I don't have to freak out about stuff. Maybe Anthony texting will keep me up at night. I don't know. But other than that, I'm just pretty good at not worrying about any of that kind of stuff because you could only control what you control. If I'm up at night, it's because I think I half-assed something and didn't put the effort in that I otherwise should have, or allowed something to fall through the cracks that I knew better. Hey, there's a smile from Anthony and Glenn. Yeah, Anthony's been smiling, laughing it up today. It's almost like he's somewhere doing an extremely fun project that he has a lot of passion in. Mark Ergang says, you guys compliment each other like peanut butter and jelly. Little known fact about me, everybody. All the exotic foods I've eaten in the world and all the countries that I've been to, I've never had a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in my entire life.
Who?
Yeah.
Who never had peanut butter and jelly sandwich? What?
Yeah.
Okay, you've done a fluffernutter?
That sounds dirty.
Glenn. Are you? I'm sorry. I was texting, but I had to tell somebody to do something. But anyway, so wait, you are you allergic to peanut butter?
No.
Why haven't you had a peanut butter sandwich?
I don't, because it's just the whole notion of peanut butter and jelly together just kind of freaked me out. And
wait, we can't. No. This show's got to be canceled. I can't do this.
I know it's the strangest thing ever. I also am not a fan of grilled cheese. And no, I'm not allergic to peanuts. In fact, I subsist mostly on peanuts. I go to Trader Joe's and I get all these peanuts and I eat them here at my desk during the day because I don't take them much.
Glenn, you're going to do us a favor. You're going to make yourself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich tomorrow. And you're going to take a bite. You're going to take a bite of it on the air for the first time. Can you do that?
I can totally do that. Yeah, maybe not tomorrow because tomorrow is a jam-packed show. Yeah, maybe on Wednesday before I go for my shot. It'll be the last thing that I do before I have a fatal interaction with the chemical.
Well, I don't know if I would do that right before the shot because knowing the way things work, you'll have allergic reaction. You won't be able to shot. So maybe next week.
Yeah, I probably will, because I'll tell you, after I got the first shot, even though I had 0 symptoms afterwards, I left there all panicky. Like anytime I breathed, I thought that there was something wrong with my breathing. If I felt a little something, I catastrophized it. It was really, really quite sad, you know?
So we'll pick a different day.
Yeah. All right. Next question.
Suzanne, can you get us back on track, because I'm dying over here.
All right, so back on track. We'll send him some marshmallow and make him make a fluffernutter instead. What's your favorite book?
Everything I learned in kindergarten.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it my favorite book?
Yeah.
Because it's every day. It's an everyday manual. It's like people say there's no manual when you're born. Well, yes, there is. It's called the book. Everything I learned in kindergarten. If you follow that book, that's your manual for life. That's your treat everyone the way you want to be treated. Walk old ladies across the street. Be respectful. Show up on time. Keep your word. If you read that book and no other book in the rest of your life, you'll be a good human. There's people that are religious and go to church every Sunday, or they go to church every day, but they're not good people because they don't live that book. Well, you can be religious and you can read the Bible or the Quran, whatever you read, but if you're not treating people around you with respect and fairly, or you're treating people and you're judging people before you let them prove themselves, then you're not to me you're not a good person. I don't care how religious you are. So that's my favorite book for reasons.
Beautiful.
Okay. Glenn?
I think we all know what my favorite book is. The Adapters by Sean Glenn Hausman. Michael Weinberg beat me to it, but I was thinking the same thing right there, brother. Make sure you get it right now. Amazon.com. Look at that. Look at that pretty names right there. Sean Worker and Glenn Hausman right there. Adapters.net, Amazon.com. My real first favorite book, though, I think was The Stand by Stephen King. It was the first giant book I read. And I was blown away by the storytelling and the feelings that it gave little like 10, 11-year-old Glenn when I was reading that. So that set me off on a lot of reading with Stephen King books and all of those kinds of books when I was growing up.
I know you're not going to believe this, but I've never read a Stephen King book.
Well, you will read a Stephen King book while I'm eating my sandwich next week. How's that sound? All right.
Okay, I will.
All right. So what vacation are you looking most forward to?
I'm going away in July to the Breakers in Florida, and I'm looking forward to doing that because I haven't shut myself off in several years, so I'm hopefully be able to do that.
Yeah. You think you will, though?
No.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. The last real vacation I took was 3.5 years ago when I took the family to Israel and we got my boys bar mitzvah there in Israel. And I had a plan for 3 months in advance to be able to shut down for that 10 days and really be left alone. Even when I took my family to Disney World a couple of years ago, I mean, summer 2019, I had to work for a couple of hours every single morning. So I really hope to be able to do that again. Daniel, I really am dying to get to Japan. We were trying to do that last summer. We can't obviously do it this summer, but maybe next summer, and I'll totally shut down on that trip. But I just want to take a vacation anywhere at this point. Anywhere. Anyone got any ideas? Anyone got some free rooms for me somewhere? Let me know. I'll come and enjoy them.
I got a for you in Tampa if you want one.
Yeah.
All right. Summer business. What are your predictions for the summer?
In some markets, record year, you'll never see business like that again. In some markets, it'll be a struggle. But listen, people are fed up and want to get out.
Yep. Kim Hodges says, go to Memphis, stay at our house. I love that idea. I'm just thinking, now you got me thinking about Gus's fried chicken from Memphis. Thanks for that one, Kim. I think it's going to be a great summer. I think exactly right what Anthony said. I'm feeling here at the Hausman Pool Club Resort and Smokehouse. We're going to have a lot of company over here this summer. We're going to do a lot of entertaining, which is weird. It's going to cost me money. I'm not going to be making any money, but it will be symbolic of everyone getting back to things. Anthony, I think it's going to be a gangbuster summer, really, for a lot of people. I just hope that our hotelier friends out there can keep pushing up those rates so they can have some money to hire people back at a good livable wage.
Well, I tell you, in the California market, around Long Beach, around LA, the 4.5, 5-star hotels are seeing rates up $30 to $40.
Wow.
Not from last year, but from 2019.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, that's pretty incredible, pretty remarkable. I'm a little worried actually about taking a vacation because I'm not in a position to ask anybody to hook me up for real.
No more hooking up. It's
Right.
hooking up is over.
Right. It's the same thing as everybody used to say to me. I'd be like, hey, you want to go to Atlantic City this weekend? Can you get us a hookup and we'll all go together? I'm like, no, I can get us a hookup on Sundays through Thursdays, but Atlantic City only makes their money on Friday or Saturday night. And I'll be real jerk if I'm going to try to ask them to give me a free room when they could be making when it's their only profit. And that's kind of like where we are right now.
What will you be? What will you be, Glenn? If you do that, what will you be?
Big old jerky jerk. And I don't want to be that.
No. You didn't say jerky jerk. You said jerky jerk.
Oh, sorry. Well, maybe that's a little too much for me. Jerky jerk.
You know what I'm realizing, Glenn? We really should have guests on this show.
You don't think Suzanne's a good enough guest? Are you insulting Suzanne? No.
Well, no, she's giving us lines. She's not a real guest. We're interviewing her. So, Suzanne, why don't you ask her some questions?
Yeah. All right. So we do have a lot of students that listen to our podcast here. So how can students successfully enter into this industry?
Do it.
Well, it depends on your mission, right? It depends on what you want. I really think it's important that a person coming into our industry thinks about what they really like. Are you a numbers person? Are you a people person? Are you a designer? What do you want to be? What part of this business? Well, I don't know. I don't know what a hotel really is. Okay. What do you like the most in life? Do you like, I don't know, painting? Do you like design? Then if you like design, then probably get with a company that designs hotels. If you like being around people and you like the craziness of a front desk, then go to the front desk. But unfortunately, the reason that our industry has problems attracting talent at an entry level position is because the low pay. And that's where people kind of go do other things. So you have to have a mission to really want to be in this business. And there's a lot of money to be made in this business, but you've got to, you've got to make a commitment to it. Once you make a commitment to it, your career could be a rocket ship.
Yeah, I love it. I'll just say, Matt is saying no guests and the show's off the rails. Well, that's my fault. Anthony is trying very hard to keep it on the rails over there. So what's the question, Suzanne, about hiring and stuff like that?
Your students, how can they successfully enter the industry?
Honestly, just get a job and go for it. There's so many opportunities right now in order to be successful in the hospitality industry. People are waiting for good, strong, young professionals to be present, be there, and allow them to take the reins of success from them. It's not rocket science. You just have to get out there, do it, be curious, work hard, and get into new things. And I think that your career will take off like a rocket ship.
Great. All right. Yep. So in the course of your life, what has been the greatest lesson that you've learned?
The biggest lesson that I've learned? That's a good question.
Starting to stump you.
No, I think that don't be lazy in the sense of don't let fear prevent you from doing what has to be done. I've gotten bit every single time that I, number one, didn't listen to my gut or didn't put in the effort into something because I was uncomfortable at the notion of doing that. I tried doing PR once, and it was an abysmal failure, not because I was not capable of doing it, because I allowed fear get in the way of me being successful. I wouldn't call the person from the New York Times to do the story because I was afraid that they would yell at me and say no and how that would make me feel. Now in my life, I don't care. They say no, that's fine. At least I did it. But by preventing myself from doing what I actually had to do to find success, it wound up damaging my career, and I had to reevaluate what I wanted. And
Can you ask me the question, Suzanne? I didn't hear it.
Sure. So, what has been the greatest lesson that you've learned in your life?
You're not that important.
oh, that's a good one.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right. So as we go to wrap up our final question in this segment of rapid fire questions.
Good instinct. That was the last one. I love it.
What is your favorite quote and why?
You go, Glenn. I have a couple of them. You go.
I actually don't have any. I think a lot of quotes are just a lot of hokum out there. I just try to get motivated by doing things myself. I don't know. I hear so many quotes. They sound good, and then I forget about them. I don't have any quotes.
Do you like any quotes that I have? That anything that's
they all sound great, and they're all inspiring. But then, because whatever's going on here, I can't remember anything. So I'm never driven by quotes. I've never been one of those people that, like, when they're on stage, you'll be like, oh, so-and-so said this, so-and-so says that. I've never been anything like that. Yeah, Michael says use one from the adapters. I got a freaking book full of quotes. You think I'd remember one freaking thing right now and turn it back into a sales pitch? But no, maybe mine is just do it from Nike, because it really it really gets down to the brass tacks of what you have to do. I like what you're saying, Michelle. Create my own quote. And I have in the past, and I've immediately forgotten those too.
So my favorite quote, sitting in bed, and I heard Norman Lear, if you know who he is, look him up. Norman Lear, great producer from the 70s, said, put your dreams in the atmosphere and the world will conspire for your success. Yep. Put your dreams in the atmosphere and the world will conspire for your success. I heard that and it knocked me for a loop, because it's like, because when you think about your career and you think about your life, and you may want more of this, you may want more of that, but you think about, like, if you have a good family, if you have a little money in the bank, or you have a good career, or you have your health, and somehow you got here. Like, how'd you get here? Because you may have thought you had a roadmap, but your roadmap got blown up probably when you were 11. And then you roadmap got blown up when you were 21, and then 25 and 30 and 35 and 40. And last year, COVID blew up all of our roadmaps. So, but somehow you still got here, because every day you just dream the dream, and the world conspired for your success. Greatest quote I've ever heard.
Awesome. Well, thank you, gentlemen, for participating today.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Suzanne. What's your favorite quote, Suzanne?
Dream big.
Like it. Dream big, go home.
If you don't put it out there and you don't try, I mean, heck, last summer, if I hadn't dreamed big, come up with crazy ideas, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yep.
I like that. All right, Suzanne, thank you.
Maybe you should dream bigger. That's what I would say.
We can work on that.
All right, Suzanne, thanks so much.
Hey, my little nugget, how are you?
I'm so good today, man. All right, yeah, Kayla says, what about you have one life so blaze? That's more of a song lyric than a quote, but it is a manifesto of which I live by. Anthony, let's wrap this thing up today. I know you got to get back to a meeting and stuff like that. Any final pearls of wisdom that you might have for us?
Get out of bed in the morning, show up, do what you say you're going to do, shut up, no one cares, get it done.
Yeah, and I'll say just do one more thing. Whatever you think your capacity is for the day, for the hour, for the minute, just do a little bit more. Push yourself just a little bit harder, and before you know it, you're going to accomplish a whole lot more than you thought. It's all about finding ways to get out of being uncomfortable and moving forward, and by just doing a little bit more every day, you will get to your goals even quicker. A lot of great quotes coming up here. I love what Michael says from Gretzky, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Also goes in line with you don't ask, you're never going to get. And that's an important lesson that I learned like 5 years ago.
And what's Mike Tyson's favorite quote, or my favorite quote from Mike Tyson? Everyone's got a plan till they get punched in the face.
Right. That's right. And that's another great quote, which you've said multiple times, and then I immediately can't remember, which is too bad. Be better today than you were yesterday. That's absolutely right, Mark. I think that's a great way to go. All right. Mike says, thanks for the great show. Go have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. We'll do that next week. on this show. We'll have a taste test to see if my fears were rational or not. And you got to know, I'm able to handle a lot of big things in my life. I'm able to take on these huge challenges because I focus all of my anxiety and fears on stupid little things like being afraid of a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh, my little nugget, take us out.
All right, everybody. Hey, we've already said it, but we'll say it again. You've got one life, so blaze on and
Be kind to yourself.
see you tomorrow.